Maheshvara and Paramabhagavata assumed by the Chalukya kings show. The principle of religious toleration adopted by the rulers of the dynasty was largely responsible for the prevalent religious harmony among many existing creeds. This in turn gave Tremendau's impetus to the construction of Brahmanical and Jaina temples. Fine arts. The Chalukya monarchs were liberal patrons of art, architecture and sculpture. They evolved and developed a new style of architecture known as the Chalukya style, which is distinct from the Gupta style of temple architecture, developed possibly side by side, without the one influencing the other. The attractive specimens of architecture and sculptures of outstanding beauty stand to this day to proclaim the outburst of artistic endeavor of the people. The Chalukya monuments resolve themselves into two classes, viz., rock-cut halls and the structural temples. The excavated temples are found at Badami and Aihole. The most noteworthy is the Badami, where there are 4 cave temples, 2 dedicated to Shiva, 1 to Vishnu and the other being Jaina. Dug out of the local soft stone formations, viz., sandstone. The earliest and the largest one is cave number 3, dated 578 AD, excavated during the reign of Mangalesha and dedicated to Vishnu. It consists of an open forecourt, a pillared veranda, a pillared hall, and a square garbhagriha. The facade is made up of 6 pillars and 2 pilasters on either side, while there are 14 pillars in the hall. Cave No. I, dedicated to Shiva, is of smaller dimension, while Cave No. 2 is smallest with a width of 33 feet. What strikes these temples are not the dimensions, or the arrangement and decoration of the exterior, but their richly decorated interiors, where the rock carver has concentrated his utmost skill, so that the spectator, passing from the bright sunlight outside into its darkened pillared halls, finds himself bewildered by the wealth of symbolism and mystical imagery which surrounds him on all sides and appears to extend indefinitely into the exterior gloom. 49 Cave No. IV, the earliest of the Jaina cave temples, cut near the top of the rock, is only a small essay in rock. The Jaina cave temple at Aihole, excavated into the low sandstone outcrops, contains a rectangular front mandapa, and it is an exact copy of mandapa-type cave temple. It is worthy of note that it was Chalukyas who initiated the movement of Brahmanical rock-cut halls, mandapas, in this part of the country, which served as a cue to the Pallavas, who, under Mahendravarman I, excavated the first cave temple at Mandigapattu, south of Arcot district, for the Hindu trinity Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma. 50. The Chalukyas, who are rightly regarded as the architectural ancestors of the temple building activity that continued right up to the 13th century AD, have left to us some remarkable examples of structural temples. The early experiments in the temple building are first met with at Aihole, which alone consist of 70 temples. Then the main building activity centered round the 2 other important towns of Chalukyas, Badami and Pattadakal, both in the neighborhood of the Aihole. Rightly called the cradle of the Indian temple architecture, Aihole represents the best Chalukya architecture. Of the 70 temples, at Aihole 3 are noteworthy. They are the Lad Khan, so called because a Muslim of the name had a hut close by and lived in it. The Durga and Hukimalagudi temples belonging to the period 450 to 650 AD. The Lad Khan temple has certain characteristics of rock-cut halls. It is in fact a low flat-roofed mandapa, 50 feet wide, enclosed by walls on 3 sides, with a porch on the east side, the pillars of which are carved with the Ganga-Yamuna motif. Architecturally, the temple is significant for 2 main reasons. We see in the pilasters at the exterior angles of the structure the beginnings of the later Dravidian order, with the tapering upper end of the shaft and a capital with the expanded abacus supporting the bracket. Another feature which stayed on and influenced later Chalukyan temples is the flat roof, which consists stone slabs groved at the joints, and held together by long narrow stones which fit into the groves. In short, the temple impresses the visitor very much. Built on the model of the Buddhist Chaitya Hall, the Durga temple contains a new feature, namely, a vestibule or antarala, which is an intermediate chamber between the cellar and the main hall. It has a sikara over the garbhagriha which has fallen. The Hukimalagudi temple, which seems to be earliest of the Aihole group, contains a sikara of the Nagara type. There are as many as 10 temples at Pattadakal belonging to this period, 6 of whom follow the Dravidian style. The most celebrated one is that of the Temple of Virupaksha. It was built by Queen Loka.